Today is day 76 in this book I'm reading, My Daily Faith Pill. I haven't read it beforehand, so I apologize if I make any mistakes. So the title is The Constant Command, Fear Not. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." As we journey through the scriptures, one command rings with remarkable consistency: fear not. This powerful directive is repeated over 365 times throughout the Bible. Why this constant repetition? Because the human experience is perpetually bombarded by whispers designed to induce fear. We face decisions concerning investments, wondering, what if I lose everything? We enter relationships with the anxious thought, what if this ends in failure? We apply for new opportunities burdened by the possibility, what if I don't get the job? There will always be circumstances attempting to inject doubt and terror into our hearts. It is precisely because of this constant pressure that God continually reminds us, fear not. God's instances on this command stems from a crucial reality. The object of our focus dictates the emotion that governs us. Most often, fear takes root because our eyes are fixed on the wrong landscape. Whenever we divert our gaze from God, fear rushes in to fill the vacuum. Consider the profound example of Peter stepping out onto the water to meet Jesus. As long as Peter's eyes was locked onto Christ, he walked triumphantly on the waves. The moment he shifted his focus away from Jesus and onto the turbulence around him, fear seized control and he began to sink. This principle holds true for us today. Anytime we draw our attention away from the power of God, the certainty of his presence, or the boundless nature of his love, fear will inevitably follow. Conversely, as long as we maintain a conscious awareness that God loves us, that he is fighting on our behalf, and that he's actively working everything out for our ultimate good, we can keep fear at bay. To live without fear, we must sustain this internal affirmation. The danger arises when we allow our concentration to drift towards the world's overwhelming narratives, the reports of conflict, the instability of the economy, the scarcity of resources. The moment we concentrate on these external threats, fear becomes our master. This is why the Bible consistently instructs us, do not be afraid. Think of the promise concerning Zerubbabel. What is that mountain before Zerubbabel? It shall be made plain. God is speaking that exact truth to you right now. Insert your name where Zerubbabel stands. Whatever mountain looms before you, God declares that he will make the way plain. Therefore, the instruction is clear. Stop staring at the mountain. Stop focusing on the bears or the lions of your situation. Keep your eyes fixed solely on Jesus. One of the essential aspects of focus is exclusivity. You cannot genuinely focus on two objects simultaneously. A man of God once recounted a divine insight. When you look up, you cannot see what is happening down below. And when you're looking down, you can't look up. This duality applies directly to our spiritual vision. If you're looking down at your problems, you cannot truthfully claim to be looking up to God. You are either focused upward, fixed on the Lord, or you're focused downward on the situation. There is no middle ground for concentration. If you maintain your gaze towards God, placing your trust in him and keeping the reality of his character at the forefront of your mind, you dismantle fear's hold. This isn't simply about summoning abstract faith. It's about actively directing your sight. When fear begins to creep onto your heart, recognize it as the signal that you have glanced away from God. Immediately recenter your attention on who he is and what he's capable of, and the depth of your value to him. Meditate on the promises. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe that's Philippians 4:13. Affirmation is key. God is for me. God loves me, sees me. He's on my side. Anchor your eyes onto these truths, and you will find that fear cannot survive in that focused light. Today, step out knowing the truth. You are God-backed, and he is with you every step of the way. You know, he makes a very good point about when you look down, you can't also look up. And it's true that we aren't able to focus on two things simultaneously. It's incredibly difficult, right? And when fear settles in and we start digging and wallowing, as I usually say, we start sitting in that worry, right? For me, visually, it's like sitting in a puddle of mud and being and complaining that you're dirty. Like, we need to get up and get out of that right away. And when we focus on our anxieties, we kind of ignore God's strengths and his promises towards us. He wants to see us prosper. He wants to give us a good future. He is the lamp to our feet, a light to our path, right? He has known us before we knew ourselves, before our parents knew who we were going to be. He already knew us. He's past, present, and future. He stands outside of time, right? I can go on and on and on about that. When we remember that, you will realize that you're going to forget about whatever you were worried about, right? Imagine walking on a plank and it's surrounded by fire. If you guys have watched Squid Games, and there was one of those games where it was the glass, and then they were jumping and then they'd fall. If you were able in that game to look up at God and be like, God, left or right, you would even forget what the consequence of failing is, right? So think of it that way. If you focus on the Creator, you focus on the solution, you will worry less or not at all on your problems. So I think that definitely this is speaking to me. I could see this in my life, because sometimes you're so like, yeah, Jesus, everything is good, and you're very confident, and then one morning you wake up and boom, the anxiety just hits you super hard. It's hard to manage, and that's what makes us human. We live and we learn, and we're gonna get better at this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.